Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Art Review. My name is Alex.
I'm Yulia Lennon.
I'm Daniel Landman.
And today we're going to be talking about a painting by Mark Tennant. I'm going to describe the painting a little bit. It's about this woman who is in an aisle in what looks like to be an IKEA or a Costco. It's very contemporary.
And it's by a living artist, right?
It's a living artist, yeah.
Okay.
So, like I said, you guys saw it. So any first impressions?
Do you want to go first? What do you mean?
My first impression was it definitely felt like it was like in like a warehouse, like a Costco kind of scene. All the boxes are just like really dominate the image, but you don't know what's in those boxes. It's very nondescript opposed to like the figure there, and then these like boxes that have no personality but have a lot of weight to them. And I thought maybe it's a little commentary of our times, the way we purchase our foods or we order things that are very nondescript and non-personal.
I think it's a very contemporary painting. There's certainly, you could not confuse it with a painting painted, say, 20, 30 years ago. I was slightly surprised by the treatment of the boxes and the figure is almost identical. So in a way, there's no separation, or this is like a living person and this is the boxes, the environment. So she doesn't really have a face. There's no, it just feels all as one environment. So there's no separation in terms of that. So in a way, like I said, the commentary is on the boxes, but it's also commentary on the human condition or the way we live.
Yeah, it could be like he's erasing identity, pretty much. Like and a lot of his paintings are kind of like that. He gets rid of the face. I guess it's about no one in specific, but more of just like a symbol or something. Like, right?
Yeah.
And so let's jump into this skill. How skilled is this painting?
Let's start with you, since we started this.
This is your baby.
Yeah.
This is I suggested we. Okay. All right. So I think it's very skilled. It's kind of simplified, but very skillfully. The composition is very well done. It's not just flat. It has like an angle to it. The colors are well chosen. The figure really jumps out. You notice it right away. It has like a mixture of browns and reds and darks. So values, the painting, the approach, they're all very well done. I'm going to say a 9.
Here we go. So you on the 9 train today.
Let's give it a 9.
Well, I think it's painted well. Again, I like the tones, I like the arrangement of colors and things, but for me, just not maybe enough to get my teeth into. Like I said, there's no variation in the texture almost and the materiality of a subject, but I think it's still pretty good. So maybe 8 from me.
What was the scale of the painting, like the size?
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
It seems like a really
maybe 30
large,
inches.
Yeah, it seems like a large painting to me for some reason.
I only seen pictures of most of his paintings within like in an easel. Yeah. So if it fits in an easel, it could be like 40 inches, something like that.
Yeah, it has an impact of like a really large painting. Like I like his application of paint too. It's very textural and directional and well drafted out in the piece. I like the contrast between the pinkish figure, like the skin tones of the figure, in contrast to the boxes and the overall value of the piece. I'm going to give it an 8 on skill.
Oh, okay. So
just to be different.
So I think it's going to be 8.
No, but you got to add up. It's like 2 8s make a 9.
2 8s make a 9.
It's an average. Yeah, that math doesn't work.
I like your math.
This is like 9.88.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
Okay. Just for you, it can be 9.
All right.
No, 8.5.
No, we gotta go.
Okay.
So, 9?
How is does this logic work? There's two people who voted 8 and you just voted 9 and it's
Okay.
going to be
8 it is. 8 it is.
Okay,
Okay.
you're taking down the score. So
Very strict.
okay. Innovation.
Innovation. As well, it's like an everyday scene, pretty much, right? And the thing that's appealing is this contemporary setting, like you said. It hasn't taken place anywhere before.
I haven't seen a woman in a warehouse before.
Exactly.
Painted.
Or it might have been, right? But it's still kind of just depicting the scene. So innovative is not like, I'd say like a 4.
Damn. We dropped on that one.
I agree with 4. Let's stick to
it's
4.
kind of it's like it's a contemporary painting, but it's still it's a depiction of something. It's not quite an
in an
statement.
interior.
Yeah. So
Well, I feel like there's a certain commentary in it, which is
Innovative.
innovative.
This is intellectual property we're talking about.
So I like that aspect. I like commentary thrown in the work. So I'll go with a 5.
fine.
So
Which
what
makes
does
it
4?
4.
Okay, so he gets a
not
4.
according to Alex, that makes 5.
That's 6.
6.
Okay, communication.
Communication. It communicates what it's trying to depict very well, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, it's not making any deep statements, I would say.
Yeah, I think it does make quite a deep statement in terms of, like you said, it's social commentary, and to me, that's like the reaction to how do we buy things and how almost like a faceless the world is. There's no names on the boxes. There's no face on the person. You know, we're living in this big sort of world that is very, very faceless. So to me, and it communicates pretty well that idea, like very clearly. So there's no vagueness to me in a way, but like I think it's pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually know if that's exactly what he's trying to say. I think the main motivation that he had was it was new to him, the whole scene. You know, it's like, I haven't done this. I haven't seen anyone do this before. Apparently, he has a lot of history studying in museums. He teaches. So he's very familiar with old painters.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his things is like that I think he's always trying to avoid is being bored.
Mm-hmm.
He never wants to do like a boring painting because then he feels boring. So I feel like I think that the motivation that he was trying to communicate is like, hey,
So
look
you
at
think
this
we're
new-
reading into this more than he actually designed it to
I
be?
think you might be. Yeah. But
Okay.
no, but I mean, it's not a bad thing. Maybe it is. Like maybe he's saying that. Maybe that's why he decided to get rid of the face. Because she kind of fits within the whole product. Basically, it's like everything kind of.
She's a product.
Yeah, it's like just like, along with the boxes, you know, it's not. It doesn't even depict the person other than like maybe a form. It could be even a cutout. So, but like.
But it does communicate to me nonetheless. So I'm gonna go with 8.
Nice.
You didn't convince me.
I didn't even give a number yet.
So we're on communication.
Communication, yeah.
I agree with a lot of what you just said. I think it is a powerful commentary on this homogenization of like the individual, and that we are faceless, and people have a detachment of where things are coming from, where they're getting it, and that kind of impact. So it's kind of like this, I don't know, it evokes that for me, of like that detachment, and the loss of like the individual qualities of like the actual person in there, and what's in the boxes. So I think it communicates fairly well with me as well. I'll give it a 7.
Controversial.
Yeah, well, for me, like I said, it communicates. Maybe around a 6, I would say.
6, 7, 8.
6, 7.
Means it's 7.
7. Okay, yeah.
I kind of have difficulty now with intellectual property because we talked about this idea quite a bit.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's almost the same as what we just discussed. So
Well,
right
think
now,
about it like, because historically, I do think this is gonna be a museum painting, right? Like when you go to museums, you see a lot of like the industrial age. You see a lot of buildings and boats, that were prominent during the era. We go back to the Renaissance. Then we have like a depiction of that time. Historically, when you look at this painting, you're gonna be like, man, that was made in the 2000s. Or, right?
So you think it's gonna hang like
So 2000.
like a recollection of what was.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the intellectual lasting value that it will have. It's like.
Yeah, it resonates with that. It resonates with where we're at right now, currently.
I think it does.
So I think I'm gonna stick to my previous 8 for communication. I'm gonna do the same for intellectual property. Yeah.
I'll stay the same. I'm gonna stay with 7.
7 for me too.
So 7?
That makes it 9, right?
Yeah.
Artist and math.
Yeah.
There you go.
So next one is emotion.
Emotion.
So how do you feel?
On the commentary, it makes me feel a little bit sad. I like the mom and pop shops, and I know that day is like just a dinosaur. The brick and mortar in general too is on its way out. So emotionally, I know that's the life we live right now. That's what's happening. But there's a certain nostalgic thing for venues with personality and heart and soul to them. So
For your sadness.
Yeah, a little bit sad.
Maybe all melancholic.
It's a little melancholy. But the way it's rendered is really nice to me. So it kind of balances it out, because it is a painting, and it does point that out. So there's a certain beauty in that. I would go with a 6.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I have like a kind of a double emotion with it in the way that the whole painting makes you feel like kind of detached. It's a very kind of arm's length, in a way, like everything is the same, and then it pushes you away. But at the same time, I feel the same. Like I feel kind of sad that this is the society that we live in, and I don't want to recognize myself in that, but it's true. Like I have like a kind of emotional push and pull, which is I suppose like one of the beauties of that painting. So I'm gonna go for 8.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I don't know, like this painting really like evokes a lot of me, like positive emotion. Yeah, like I like the composition. I just think it's kind of like an abstraction, but really but depicting something real, right? It's not like
the abstracted reality.
It's just the way he paints, like you were talking. It's just like the shapes are kind of very simplified, but you could, like, if you turn it upside down, you might even make an abstract painting, like completely, right?
A woman hanging from the ceiling.
No, but just
this is the shopping of the future,
On the ceiling. I kind of got that when you showed me other pictures that he did as well. Like the background seemed like a painting into itself, like an abstract painting was behind it, but it was.
That's what I'm saying. Every area is treated in exactly the same way. It's all, yeah.
But I don't know, I like it because it's like a nice mixture of abstraction and reality. I also like the simplification. It's not depicting stuff like too realistically. I think that's a very modern thing.
Yes.
Kind of like
I agree.
It's kind of like the birth of an idea, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go into
and fill in all the little
exactly. So it's kind of that's I think what makes it kind of like fresh looking.
Yeah.
Right, and also the content. It's like where it takes place. Part of the erasing the identity too. That's I feel like it's also like very contemporary. Like back in the day, it was more like about depicting a person, but now it's like the individual just matters less and less. So now to me it's a 10, man.
And the camera just cut off. Just literally just cut off when you.
Okay, and
We're back.
okay, okay. So we said that I give it a 10,
8.
7.
7. So
And
the
that
total
makes it
is
11.
10,
With an average.
wait, what is it? 8, 7. That's a 9, right?
Okay.
We'll go with
8,
9.
7.
We'll go with 9. We'll go with 9. Yeah.
We'll make an exception this
Yeah.
time. Because he's alive and he can, contact us and yell at us. We'll give him a
Let me
9.
show you kids how painting is done. It's like,
Yeah.
whoosh, whoosh.
So livability. Would you have a painting like that on your wall?
Oh, man. I think it would be pretty cool to have something like that on my wall. I'd think about it for a while. So I'd give it a 1.
Wow.
I could probably live with it.
I don't think I could. It would remind me of the darker side of a human civilization.
It could be progress.
The box in which we live in.
Yes,
like-
the box that we live in. No, I'm
It's like,
sorry.
look
It's a
at
lovely
that-
painting, but I
The
wouldn't live
chains
with
of
it.
transportation. Look at these huge warehouses we built.
Mm-hmm.
They,
No, to me, it's sorry. It's a
they're
zero.
like skyscrapers of consumerism.
Yeah, capital.
Yeah.
I can live with. Yeah, I can live
You
with
can
that.
live with that.
Yeah, so we're gonna do.
What are you going to give
a
it?
1.
2?
A 2. So
Well,
I
no,
thought
you
it just
said a
1.
between 1 and 2, right?
No, it's like
It's
we
a-
add them. We add them if more than.
Oh, okay.
So
Do
each
we?
each person gets a 1.
I feel
Okay,
like
one.
this round is really driven by some weird mathematical
I thought that
equations.
was Nigel said.
Nigel said, okay, you can be 2.
This is modern.
Alright.
now.
Okay, so yeah, that's,
Commercial
add this-
success. No, hang on.
No, we
hang
don't.
on.
We don't do that.
No, we're not going to do that? Okay. All right, no commercial success.
Most of the
this
time,
time.
we don't know like the
Well,
other artists that we're going to.
The Costco
suppose.
contract that he got from that was, I heard, huge. Huge.
8 plus 4 plus 7 plus 7 plus 9 plus 2.
And just throw a 10 in there for good measure.
Oh, it's 37.
37.
37.
Not
Ooh.
75. What Alex got for.
Well, look, that means contemporary art is superior to.
The historical to the black square. Yes.
Those boxes are
Contemporary.
kind of like modern day black squares.
But
Anyway,
arranged in a really good way.
In a really
and a nice color.
Yeah.
but inside, if you look inside the box, it'd just be
It's a black square. Yeah.
Guess what I got you for Christmas this year?
Yeah.
A black square.
Black square.
Bottom of the box.
Well,
Alright.
that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave comments. What do you guys think of this cool painting?
Make sure you hit the like button.
Yeah, and subscribe. So bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.